in the meantime, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Caribbean Edge. My name is Cheryl Ann Marshall, and you all know the famous, oh Lord, the famous and founder of this platform. I just love it. I just like that she's here and she's giving us all this opportunity, including you guys, to join in the fun. Dawn Wilson.
Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know about famous.
Famous.
Thank you for the grand introduction.
Well, how about infamous?
We'll take that as well. We'll take that
Okay.
as well. And our guest this evening is the Black Warrior. His first name is Ricardo, which I also like. So Black Warrior sounds nice and interesting, but I also like Ricardo. That's his name as well. For those of you that will not want to call him the Black Warrior, his name is Ricardo.
Hi, Ricardo. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi. So, where are you from?
Introduce yourself.
Well, I like to be called Black Warrior, and I'll explain why, first of all.
Okay.
Because I believe that when he was born, he was given a name, but when you grow and you elevate, and you grow, you should be able to call yourself what you choose to or what you evolve into.
Okay.
So being that I am a true warrior on very many levels, so I prefer to be called Black Warrior or Warrior. In fact, that's what my father and my brothers call me, Warrior. So.
I like that. Let me.
Yeah.
Because you said I've elevated, right?
Right.
You said that.
Right.
I feel like I've elevated as well.
Right.
I'm sure you feel
Absolutely.
like you've elevated, right? What names? Think really quick. What is going to be Dawn's name? And what is going to be mine? We can come back to it and we can go on. But
Once you get to know us
once
more,
you get to know us more, you'll think about a name, right?
Yeah.
So think about it and go ahead and introduce yourself to our guests.
Well, good afternoon, good night, greetings and blessings to all. Right? My name is Black Warrior. The liberator. Everything I do, whether it's through music, I'm a music songwriter, singer-songwriter, and obviously an author. And my quest is to lay the foundations that's going to heal humanity. So, with that said, I'll introduce my book. It's called Closer to Truth, Closer to Love, a spiritual guide to inner peace and empowerment. Closer to Truth, Closer to Love, a spiritual guide to inner peace and empowerment. Now, it's a very, very few human beings have ever been able to elevate to the stage where they could find inner peace. And the reason why we will never be able to find inner peace, and if you can't find inner peace, you will never truly be happy. And if the foundations of what your aspirations are is not based on truth, then happiness is something that will never be attained. It will be mere fleeting moments of happiness, but it will never be sustained because you are living an illusion. If it's not based on truth, it's an illusion, it's a fantasy. And unfortunately, the foundations of humanity and our moral standing and our aspirations is based on lies and not truth. So therefore, we are doomed to fail, and that's why we are so dysfunctional.
We need examples.
Yeah. How do you find inner peace? Like,
What are the lies that we're living?
Oh boy.
Two
Well,
questions.
yeah.
Well,
Think about it.
Well, the life that we live in, first of all, our world, is based on greed. That's the foundation, because we are all people of color or black. So that means we are here in this United States, not by choice. I mean, well, some of us, but we are in the state we are in the world because we have been colonized and we have been enslaved and shackled. And we are still under that shackling. But what's more dangerous about the current shackling we're under, it's, as Bob Marley say, emancipate yourself from mental slavery, right? So we are mentally shackled, and most of the things that we aspiring to is actually enemy of us. And but what makes this shackling more serious and more dangerous is that when you are a slave and you don't even know it, then you're really in bad shape. So the enemies, one of the most devastating things that's destroying us, that's causing and the seed of our dysfunction, is religion. Like there's a piece I wrote about our message to humanity. So, but before I go into religion, let me explain to you about this book. Closer to truth, closer to love. These two elements here, these two concepts,
Truth and love.
truth and love, in concept are the solutions to everything. Once you apply these two concepts, you could solve any and every problem.
Okay. So I want to back up a little bit because you're saying a lot, but we're not having like some questions or thoughts around it. Like you said, it was most of us are here not by choice or by choice.
Not by choice.
Not by choice.
Okay. So what do you say to people that disagree with that? Because they'll say living in the United States, no matter what your skin color is, it is a choice for them to be here. As far as these generations now, like people from the islands coming to America, they can choose to stay in their homeland or come here. So can you define what choice you're talking about? Are you going back centuries ago?
Yeah, well, we have to. Our homeland as African people is Africa. Okay? But Africa now, even the Africans have been programmed into slavery. So we got to get back to Africa, and I'm not meaning specifically the place, but the mindset, the culture, our indigenous self.
Okay. So what do you say to Africans or people that don't believe they're from African descent? I mean, we're just generalizing, so explain what is it that you mean in detail that we have to go back to the African mindset?
And why do we absolutely have to? We can move on from there.
Okay, well, first of all, if you don't understand what your indigenous self is, what your natural self is, right? That means you are compromised. Okay, you have to be, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you are, you have to be in harmony with nature, because nature is the truth. Nature, in fact, is the manifestation of what we call God, or our Creator. Now, we don't see God, but nature is the laws of God.
Right.
We
look at nature and we believe, wow, there is a God. Look at all of this.
Right, all of
yes.
this. So
yes.
Nature is actually the truth. Right? But seeing that we came out of slavery, the purpose of our enslavers was to control us. So and the most effective way to control any people is to, whatever it is they want you to believe, is to attach it to God. So like in other words, our enslavers have it's a rubber stamp. So anything they want you to believe, they say, well, God says, and they stamp it with that God says. So they put it in the Bible, and they want you to believe it, and as soon as you question it, They have a problem with that. And there's certain code words or code things that they have to demonize what they don't want you to get, because they don't want you to remove the shackles now. You know what I mean? So if you say, well, I don't believe in Jesus Christ, therefore, oh my God, he's the Antichrist. Ooh, 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 ooh. Right? So right away, you are the devil. Right? But, and then they don't want you to, and if you can question something, then you can think critically. Right? Now, if something is the truth, you should be able to question it from now until the end of time. It will always stand up. When something is not the truth, once you start questioning it, it will crumble.
Okay, so I have questions for you. Okay, so you're from Trinidad.
Right, originally.
Originally.
Right.
And tell us, like, so now you're a warrior, you've reached your mindset that you want to, where you're comfortable, where you've discovered yourself.
You elevated to this mindset.
To this point.
Right.
Yes.
So
yes.
the question I have is, take us back to your childhood, because I'm sure our audience is curious about this. Take us back to, you're from Trinidad, how were you raised? And you don't have to go into long detail.
Okay.
But what was the turning point that brought you to self-discovery and where you are?
Okay, well, first of all, I was always very different as a child, very mystical, very bright. I remember when I was 2 years old, well, I've been told by my parents when I was 2 years old, it's in a book, people would come, friends would come and ask, they say, Rick, spell so and so and spell so and so. I haven't been to school yet, but I would look up to the heavens and I would spell these big words. And they was like, how the hell do you know to spell these words?
So you were brilliant.
Well, yeah, it was more than brilliant.
You were brilliant?
Yeah, because I wasn't even, I wasn't supposed to know these words.
Mystical, sorry, you used the word mystical.
Right.
So you were mystical. What else? What else about your childhood that led you to this point?
Well, I grew up and I used to be very quiet. I was like a sponge. I was sucking everything, very peaceful, very obedient. Now, I'm the oldest of 7 with my mother and father. My younger brother Marlon, who's a year younger than me. So let's say my mom wanted to cook and she would put me on the bed and I would stay there, I wouldn't move. She could go cook, clean, whatever it is. But once she put Marlon on the bed, 2 minutes and I hear boo-doo.
You're going.
So that's why you said obedient.
Right, so I was
Yeah.
very obedient,
Yeah.
but I was very curious. And that curiosity, I always asked why. I was always peaceful. Why are they fighting? Why is this? Why are they saying that? And those whys is the foundation of this book.
Okay, so how did you get there? Because a lot of what you've said, a lot of other people can say,
Right.
I was brilliant as a kid. I know kids that would sit there because 2 different personalities in the same household.
Right.
But was it something that triggered something in you? Were you inspired? Did you go to different conferences?
Okay.
What clicked to,
Well, okay.
To make him write the book?
Well,
no, to,
Get to the stage in his life.
yeah.
well, when I was 5 years old, I used to run. And we had a little sports in Trinidad. Me and these other 4 guys, I think it was 4 guys, and we had the sports. We was all fast and we all used to run, one would win. There was one guy who was a little bigger than us and he used to win most of the time. So I remember when I ran that race, I was so nervous. So when the race started and the gun went off, I froze and the other guys started to run. And then I think my dad said, run, Rick, run. I started to run. And I passed the 4th one, the 3rd one, the 2nd one, and the 1st one right at the tape. I edged him out and I won that race. And that's where the warrior in me
Came out?
came out.
Really?
Yes.
How old were you?
5 years old.
So since then is what you're saying that
so
you.
what I'm saying is that normally we started at the same time and we were so close in speed, but it's something in me, and yes, so I won that race. And then when I was 11 years old or 10 years old, we had a debate. I think it was the Vietnam War. We had a debate about America and why should they.
This is 6 years later.
Yes.
Okay.
maybe 5, 6 years later, right? And I had a debate in class, and about the war in Vietnam, and my side was that we shouldn't fight war, and why. And ever since that, I had a debate and I won that debate. And ever since, everything I do is based on love and to end war, my music.
So that debate was a part of your inspiration.
Right.
Wow.
Right, because I always like peace.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So you had to do a lot of research, of course, and you had to get your materials ready for the debate, or everything.
No. But yes, well, it's just I was like a sponge, listening to hearing the things about the debate. So that was that, right? Then at 14 years old, I came to United States.
From Trinidad?
From Trinidad. But in Trinidad, okay. My grandmother, there was a church in our yard, and a church, a Baptist church, and my grandmother, a very powerful woman. So I remember when I was about 7 years old, I was playing with a friend in the yard. It's in the book, and it was in the daytime, and they grabbed me, right, and they pulled me in the church, and they started to chant and pour oil on my face, and it was anointing me. And I was screaming, I don't want it, and all this breast in my face, a bunch of women in the church. And I think I was screaming and kicking, and I can't fight because and they're holding me down, they're chanting and doing this stuff. So when I got older, I was telling my mom and dad about that, and they asked them, I said, do you remember? They said, no, we don't know nothing about that. I said, what you mean? So I'm like, so after a while, I started thinking, maybe I'm imagining this thing. So one day, I was living in New York, and I was in Brooklyn, driving my car, and I saw a school friend of mine named Ray. It's in the book too.
Okay.
So I spot Ray at the corner of Eastern Parkway and Bedford in Brooklyn. For who lives in Brooklyn, don't you know? So when I see him, I blow him up, and he said, hey, Ricardo, you big man, I think. So he sat in my car and we started to talk, and then he just turned to me and he said, one thing I will never forget is me and you was playing in the yard, and your grandmother and then grab you, and I said, really? I said, you remember that? I said, oh my. I said, so, I got goosebumps. I was like, so it really did happen.
Right.
And then imagine it, and he said, man, that was, and he was crying and kicking up. I said, okay. So he actually came to let me know that really happened. I never saw him after that, up until this day. Right? So I look at that as an anointing, because I consider myself a Messiah. A Messiah. So what is a Messiah? A Messiah is not to be worshipped.
It's not to be worshipped.
It's not to be worshipped. No true Messiah would emphatically tell you he or she is not to be worshipped. What a Messiah's purpose is to bring forth the message that he or she was born to deliver or even die for. And that message of any Messiah and every Messiah, true Messiah, is always love. And I bring it forth in different forms, but it's always love. And so you don't worship the Messiah, you worship the message, which is love.
We agree with that?
Yeah.
Right.
We totally agree with that.
Not subsidiaries of love, not Christian love,
Okay.
not
Pure
Islamic love,
Pure love.
pure and divine, unfiltered love, simple. So, and that's where religions at their best are subsidiaries of love.
Okay.
Okay? No.
Let me hold up. Let me ask you something about that love word.
Okay.
right? Because one of the topics in your book is about monogamy
Mm-hmm.
and how clueless we are in regards to how mythical this monogamy is.
Right.
It's not something that's real. It's not something that can be achieved. It's not something
No.
that anyone should even ask for, right?
Well,
But don't you wait? I'm gonna finish.
right. Okay. Okay.
But don't you believe love? Tying back in your love
Mhm.
into it. Don't you believe that that if you meet someone that you love, that you will want to spend a lot of time and create memories and create stories with that person without having to share that person with other persons that may jeopardize the relationship that you have with that person.
Okay. Glad you asked that question.
I know you're glad.
No. I've been married a few times.
Uh-huh.
What's a few?
About 3 times.
Okay.
Right? I have loved as much as I can love. But again, regardless of what you've been taught, if what you're trying to if you're trying to build a foundation, if it's not based on truth, it will eventually get toxic, dysfunctional, and it will crumble.
Okay, if it's not based on truth, you
Right,
said.
and monogamy is not the truth.
Okay.
There's no evidence. This is not even debatable. You know, it's not even debatable, right? There is no evidence that monogamy is highly, in the animal kingdom, it's highly unnatural. In fact,
Is that why men and women are cheating so much in
I will
today's world because of how unnatural monogamy is?
Because first of all, you start off, men are not monogamous, period.
Are you saying that some women are?
No, well, here's what. Women can be worse than men.
In regards to not being monogamous?
Of course. Right? No, but, okay.
I want to hear some more on that statement.
No, well,
you
well,
can't just make that statement,
no.
women can be way worse and not back it up with something.
No,
Something.
no, well, I'm,
Perfect, perfect.
I'm going to explain that in very much detail.
Okay.
Right? No. First of all, you have to understand, men are not monogamous. Period. Now, practicing monogamy doesn't make you monogamous. I mean, you could bring...
I hear you.
I'm 61 years old,
Mm-hmm.
soon to be 62. I have never met a monogamous man in my entire life. Practicing monogamy doesn't make you monogamous. You've been taught that, right? But it's not in harmony with nature, therefore it's not in harmony with God, right? But we've been taught that, and the thing is, it's actually social warfare. That's why it's legislated. You know, why is this legislated? I mean, why, if I want to have 2 or 3 wives in my bedroom, you know, that's my personal, if you don't have freedom in your bedroom, you're not free. You understand? So why are they enforcing it? I mean, if you want to have one, fine. You should be to have one. If you want to have another woman, you should be free to do that. But again, we are free people in the eyes of the universe and the eyes of the Creator. But there are things, to be at our best, we have to be in harmony with nature. And nature doesn't support monogamy at all. Okay? I will give you an example. 98% of mammals are not monogamous. 98%, right? And in most cases, is the male is the central individual. I'm a lion, a ape, a gorilla, or whatever. And if they have all, the alpha male have all, and if another male want to come there, okay, they have to do battle. You know, you all see it. I'm not making it
I've
up.
read it. I've seen it.
Right,
I've
of
heard
course.
it. Yes.
No,
Yes.
no, what they did was, they understand that trying to pursue monogamy will destroy us as a family unit. It weakens us because the monogamy is a winner-take-all equation, right? And now, as a woman, you're trying to have a relationship with a creature, which is man, that's not monogamous.
Is that why there are so many divorces?
Of course. And it will continue and will get worse and worse and worse. Now, listen to me.
So much infidelity in all of the
Well,
relationships
of
that
course,
we have.
listen, anytime you're not in harmony with the truth, failure is assured.
So let me ask you this, because you mentioned you've been married 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
What's your current relationship status?
My current relationship status, right now, I am in a growth spirit, as I call it. So when I'm in a growth spirit, I tend to be alone for a little bit.
Okay.
But any woman I'm dealing with now, I speak the truth.
Okay.
Front. I let them know.
Which I think a lot of women respect that.
Of course.
So what is your truth? What would you say to a woman that you met now, after you've passed this growth spurt area?
Yeah, well, listen, monogamy, especially among black people, is a dumb.
Especially among black
No, but I'm
people.
asking you,
Right, okay.
what would you say to a woman that you meet?
Right.
What is your speech, so to speak?
For them to
For them
understand
to
that you're
understand.
not
What
a
do you
tell?
monogamous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, first of all,
Do they even ask for a commitment?
yeah, they could ask, but I will deny it, and I don't care how much money you have, how much beautiful you are.
Yeah, so I want to know. I really want to
I'm
know.
What about my
what do you say to
personality? Wait a minute.
someone?
Okay, you said how beautiful I am and money. What about my personality?
No,
what
well,
if my personality
no,
is
well, what-
rocking and rolling?
No, when I say beauty, I'm talking about
Inside too.
deep
Okay.
down. In fact, mostly deep down.
Perfect.
Right.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
what would you say to a woman that you met that you find physically attractive? What would you tell her?
No, well, based on my consciousness is so high, once I'm attracted to her, you is never all.
Right, it's not
other
just
physical,
physical,
no.
but that's the
It's
first.
mostly
right.
a deep down side. When
But what would you say to someone you're interested
I
in?
would say, hi, how are you? I'm Black Warrior.
Okay.
I like you. I could feel your energy. I could feel your spirit. I could feel your beauty.
Okay.
Okay? Now, are you free or are you involved? Are you dating?
Free.
Free? Well, I'm interested in you.
Okay.
Okay, could we go out on a date, and before we get physical in any kind of way, I'll explain. And say, listen, I'm really attracted to you, but I must tell you, I don't believe in monogamy. I don't think it's the truth, and me being a soldier and a warrior of truth, I can't aspire to that because it's destroyed our people. You know, because that's why 80% of children are being raised in a single parent household. Monogamy is a failed enterprise and it's getting worse.
So in the 3 marriages that you had, did you have that conversation up front?
Not the first one. No, I didn't have it before because
You were not at this point?
no, it's just that how that relationship come about.
Okay.
You know, we were friends. And
But in general,
So did you
Yeah.
think, let me ask you in
My-
response to that, did you think that she would not agree with it and you would lose her if you told her that you did not believe in
I'm a very
monogamy?
confident individual. I'm a very confident individual. If I'm gonna speak my truth and you're not gonna deal with it, then you're free to go.
Have you had women not deal with it?
Of course.
were these some of the
Great
wives,
answer.
which was one of the questions
Well,
I
yes.
had.
Well, my second wife, I told her
Up front.
that, you know, but then, and I tried to bring her and the first wife, and that didn't work out because the first wife was already spoiled. She was already in her mindset.
Wow.
Mine was closed, and she didn't want to think. So it's like, no.
Wait, let me backtrack. You tried to bring a second woman into the picture, and the first, and your wife was not having it. Is what you're saying?
Right.
Right, because that's the one you didn't tell up front.
Right.
Right. So you were in your marriage, and
Right.
then you realized you wanted to introduce
Right.
the second person.
And then the second wife, no, she knew because I told her, I said, I'm not going to leave
The first woman,
to, you know.
you were legally married. Were you?
Yeah.
And the second woman is just someone that you're meeting that you want to
But
get to
mind
know
you,
better.
as a man of my consciousness, I don't aspire to that institution of marriage because as a man of higher consciousness, I see things. I'm a clairvoyant, I'm psychic to a certain degree. I'm also an energy healer, so I'm very conscious. So there's people who come and they say, meet my husband, and I'm, with my spiritual eye, I'm saying, okay, that's not us.
Right, so why, and our audience, we're going to look at some of the questions that might be coming up.
Right.
But one comes to mind then, and we're not questioning, please, I just want to
No, I want you to
try
question
force-
everything. Question everything.
So, why as a spiritual person would you then marry, which is not within you're not, that's not your thought
Capabilities.
process of doing it, it's a law. That why would you follow those laws?
Well,
then?
okay. Well, to be honest with you, first of all, it was to help.
Okay.
You know, because
A situation.
A situation.
Okay. All right, got it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And even the second wife was basically the same, but
Okay.
but when we come together and then now she got used to being the one, and
How old were you during this marriage? Age? Yeah, I'd like to know. I'd like to get a picture of this. Like, what age were you? In your 20s, in your 30s?
yes, somewhere in
Late 20s?
in the first one I was in my 20s,
Early or late or mid?
mid somewhere there.
Okay.
Mid to, yeah, and then mid to late, and then my second one I was in my 30s.
But all of this happened in your first.
What?
This with your wife being upset that you brought someone else into the picture.
Well, yeah. Well, she had her own issues, and you know. But anyhow, I mean, I don't want to go into too much dealing. Right now, where I stand right now, my idea of a marriage is a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can marry you. My thing is, if I want to meet a woman and I want to be her to be my wife, I usually face the east where the sun rises, the Son of God, and we hold hands and we commit, you know.
You do your own little commitment ceremony.
Right, because that's the real marriage.
Right. Between you two, it's what
You know,
two,
going in a church and having $1 million wedding and all that's just.
So have you done that with women that you've met since you were married, legally married 3 times?
Yeah, well,
You have done that?
Well, legal marriage, well, I don't want to go into any detail because, you know, all right, but.
You have done it.
What?
Mentally marry someone like
Yes,
that.
yes. We, you know, in fact, that's right now. If I'm going to marry anyone, that's how.
That's how you're going to do it.
Right, and seeing also that I'm viewed as a priest also, a high priest.
Right.
Right. You know, so yeah, but you know, it's a whole different higher state of consciousness. Right? No, I don't believe in Jesus Christ.
Okay.
You know, and I think to believe anybody who believes in Jesus Christ, that's low level thinking.
Well, I think that's kind of harsh to say that because
I know,
you don't
well,
believe it.
no,
their
well,
beliefs are.
well,
Someone may say the same for your level of thinking.
No, well, I could explain.
Okay.
You know, everything I'm going to say, I'm going to explain, and it's going to make a lot of sense.
Okay.
What I'm saying, I mean, to think Because some people even say Jesus is God. Right?
Yes, of course.
I mean, you see, but when we first came here as slaves, we didn't know Jesus. They beat that into us. Literally, Negro, who is your Lord and Savior? That, I'm not making it up. You could Google it. It's, you know, that was beaten into us. Right? That was beaten into us. Right? And then we've been in slavery as black people for 400 years. So how long are we going to pray? So why, you know, we Africans, they was taking little babies and feeding them to alligators and using them as bait, and taking the wife and raping the wife and raping the man and hanging the man and all these unspeakable things, and we praying to the same thing. You know.
You're saying we're praying to no one.
Of course, it's a sensationalized version of a true Christ, and the story is nothing like what, you know, even the story makes no sense. In fact, to believe in Jesus Christ is an insult to the Creator.
Did you once believe in Jesus Christ?
Yes.
And when did you change? When did that change?
Well, when I started questioning it.
Around what age were you? Was it a long time ago? Was it very early in your life?
It was.
Was it later on?
It was, the questioning started to grow because I was so brilliant and so curious. I was asking why.
So then it started a long time ago.
Yes, a long time ago.
When you were young.
But you questioned it, and what was the answer, or what was the turning point?
Well, first of all, I'm going to say to believe in Jesus Christ is an insult to the power of creation. Okay, because for you to think that the entity, the energy source that created all humanity and all the universe would allow themselves to be beaten, dragged through the street, and nailed up on a cross is insane.
Why is it so insane?
Because think about it. If I am the most powerful individual, let's say inside of here, I'm the most powerful individual. I could destroy everybody inside of here.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I allow her or you who's weaker than me to beat the crap out of me and drag me to a street and nail up on a cross for what? And even if it's my son, look, my son is over there. I mean, well, he's not in the camera, he's there. Would you let anybody beat the crap out of your son and then have them say, oh, the suffering of, and you have the power? That story makes no sense.
Here's why it makes sense to a lot of people, though.
Okay.
Is because that had to happen for him to die for our sins, for him to rise again. Just like a lot of people that go through diseases or sicknesses now, bringing it to reality of today's
time. I'll ask you a question. What does that mean?
Okay, let me finish. People will say, why did we just had a guest on the show that lost her daughter, and within her faith,
I lost one too.
Okay, and I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
But her belief was it had to happen, in the sense that not that she wanted it to happen. However, she, you know, like most mothers would question, why me? Why my child? Right? But she took it that it had to happen for whatever reasons unknown, but she wasn't in that car with her daughter because she had 2 other daughters. So there's certain people in life that don't question or may question, but they go back to their internal beliefs. So you have your beliefs, and we would hate to belittle your personal beliefs, but then for you to practically do that to people that have their beliefs in Jesus and God, I mean, there's probably a way to say it without belittling it.
No, well, listen to me. If, like I said, I'm a liberator, right?
Okay.
For me to liberate my people who have been suffering for 400 years, the worst thing I could do is be passive about what I know to be the enemy of you. No, the reason why is a reason why they want you to believe in Jesus Christ, first of all. Because you remember now, he said, Father, forgive them because they don't know what they do. So he's being beaten to it. But the people who teach you that, who taught you that, would not forgive any transgression against them and their family. They would nail you up on a cross. But they want you to believe that because while they're abusing you, they want you to believe in a fictitious, and that's why you hear a lot of black people saying, my Lord and Savior, because they don't want you to look inside of you, where the true God exists, a God that cannot be crucified, an all-seeing, all-knowing God, that actually is more powerful than anything about Jesus. Now think about it. They say it's 2,000 years. So you're trying to say, okay, and let's think about die for your sins. What the hell does that mean?
Okay, well, what do you mean by you're liberating us? Tell us about
All right.
you. What are your discoveries?
Well, I'm trying to do that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to do that. You have to understand. The way we've been taught that God works makes no sense. Because then we've been, for 400 years, we've been being done as black people the most inhumane things. For 400 years we've been praying. So God is not listening?
So should we just stop praying?
No,
is what
no,
you're
well,
saying? We should stop believing that
well,
there is a God. We should stop praying.
No,
and
well, let me
then
explain
what?
to you.
And then what?
Okay, well, I'll explain.
Yeah.
I'll explain. You know what I mean? Because you have to understand, all your life you've been taught that. Praying. But prayer is low-level thinking. Okay?
No, and I want to stop you on that because I don't want you to insult
No,
our
well,
viewers.
let me
I want to ask you to find another way to say, because here's why.
Well,
you have your beliefs and other people have
Okay.
their beliefs.
okay.
So can you
No,
find-
well, see.
Well,
Well,
I don't want
listen,
you-
all you have
No.
to say, there's a way
No.
to fix this. I believe, you believe that prayer is low-level thinking. You're not making a
Okay.
statement and
Well,
telling us that it is.
well,
This is your belief.
Well, when I explain to you,
we don't have to
you-
conform to your
no,
belief.
well, you don't have to.
Right.
We're
Right?
still trying to figure
Right.
out what.
Right? But, based on what I have done, okay, based on what I've done as a spiritual person, I have done some amazing things. I'll give you an example of the level I've done where the people who praying, now prayer, it's a chapter in the book, we don't know nothing about prayer. Prayer is not words, it's not reading a Bible. Prayer is a state of righteousness, a righteous soul. When you reach to that righteousness of soul, that inner spirit and soul, you are praying 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So you don't need to pray. Prayer is a cop-out, right? I don't pray.
Okay. What
No,
we want to
my-
know is the amazing things that you've discovered without the insulting
Oh.
of prayers or religion.
Okay, well, okay. I'll give you. I'm a healer. I've brought people back from the brink of death.
Okay, so give us an example of that. What was that person going through? What was the brink of death?
Okay, I have walked in a place where I wasn't supposed to, and literally, I was literally, you say, invisible. Right? I have witnesses. And
Nobody
I've-
saw you when you walked in, is what you're
No, the people who would have stopped me didn't see me.
saying. Okay.
I'll explain that story to you. My father just passed away on April 11th. April 11th
Anybody asking us anything?
Yeah.
of
We should
Of-
address them before we go.
of 2018. Now,
I'm
Okay.
sorry to hear that. I'm very sorry to hear
well,
that.
listen, we all got a
Of 2018 or was it this year?
2018.
Last year?
Now we all got a transition.
Yes.
Nobody dies,
Right. So you believe in an afterlife?
of course. In fact, it's a chapter in the book.
Okay.
Right? Nobody dies. You can't say God is good or the Creator is good and we all have to die and then say death is a bad thing. Right? That is just a transition. Now we are spiritual beings having a physical experience.
I've heard that term.
Right? So we are spirit beings. Now I'm a spiritual man and I've done amazing things. I'll give you things like if I've tapped into my inner God, not Jesus Christ, my inner God. And when I come to my inner God, if I'm going, I have had experiences where I went to, one night I went into a Crave nightclub. You know what Crave nightclub is?
Yeah.
And I went in there, me and my lady. So when I walk in, she saw a friend, a guy friend. So she said, I'll be right back. I'm going to say hi to, I said, okay. So she went far away. And there was another guy standing next to the guy who she went to say hi to. So when she came back, I asked her, I said, who is that guy? He said, which guy? Or the guy who was standing next to so-and-so. I don't know. I said, something's wrong with him. He got a problem. I said, I'm picking up bad energy from this guy.
The guy he was with.
Right, the guy he was with.
Yeah.
So, okay, she said, well, you normally don't ask me this stuff, I said, okay, fine. So anyhow, me and her was there, and we was by the bar with Marlon, and we all drinking. And here comes the same guy. Empress here. And he brought up one drink for her in the middle of all of us. I brought this for you. Looking at him, kind of weird, you know what I mean? Right? So, and then she said, meet Black Warrior. I said, hey man, what's going on? And then afterwards, he tried to befriend her on Facebook, and it was some crazy stuff. But I saw that, right? There was a night, a friend of mine, a Jamaican girl named Nikki, had a party at Hibiscus. So she invited me to come to the party. But the night before the party, I'm laying in my bed and I'm saying, wow, I see like we're going to have a shooting there. Right? I said, I ain't going, man. The next morning I get up, after the night of the event, I get up, I see on the news, somebody got shot and killed at Hibiscus.
So you feel like you could see things before
No,
they
well,
happen?
yes, but if you don't dispel, right, the most powerful thing about you is you. Your Lord and Savior is you. But they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to read this book. Because this book, again, a spiritual guide to inner peace and empowerment. It's going to make you more powerful. Now listen, I have laid hands, and I had a nephew who basically drowned. He drowned. He was dead, literally. He wasn't breathing to heaven. And I...
Brought him back to life?
Listen, I'm going to give you the story.
I have to jump the gun, I'm sorry.
No, well, I have to tell you, the thing first. And he was in the emergency room at Plantation.
I like to get to the point, I'm sorry.
He was in the emergency room at Plantation Hospital. And he was laying on the bed there. He wasn't moving. At least I didn't know he wasn't moving. Right? He's in the hospital. Doctors and nurses says he wasn't moving. Everybody says he wasn't moving. Unresponsive.
Yeah.
And I just came and I just lightly touched the bottom of his feet. Jumped. But I didn't know he wasn't moving. And then his grandmother on the other side said, oh, your uncle is so great. He wasn't moving. And then he come. My son is over there. Sometime, just before he was dying, he was going. And at times he would just collapse. And he's not moving, he's drooling on himself and he's getting ready to die. And my son would say, Dad, come quick. And I come and I ain't give him no water, no medication. I just touch him. And then all of a sudden, he said, okay, I'm good. Right?
Which is why you say you have healing energy.
Of course. But how did I get there? If I don't get there by believing in Jesus Christ. I am telling you because, okay, I'll give you another instance. I have a friend of mine in Trinidad. A woman who sings. Her name is Ella Andel. Very powerful woman. In fact, when Winnie Mandela went to Trinidad, they chose Ella Andel to embrace Winnie Mandela. Right? She was in Trinidad. Years ago, she called me. I was in my bed, 6 o'clock in the morning, and she called me. Black Warrior. She has one son. They tried to kill my son. Make sure you're going to be all right, Black Warrior. She's crying. Okay? Fine. I had my Mercedes Benz at the time. I was living in Queens. You see, he's in Kings County Hospital, so I hopped in my car, brushed up on the thing, and I went in my car. And I went to Kings County Hospital. Now, normally, if you know anything about Brooklyn, Kings County, you can't find parking. I found parking right in front, and I walked in the hospital. When I walked in the front door, there was a waiting room with his girlfriend. I was in a trance, right? Walked in. I see his girlfriend. I say, hi, how you all doing? There was a guard straight ahead. I walked straight past that guard. I wasn't supposed to. I made a left turn down the hallway. There was another guard by the operating room. I walked past him, went in the operating room for about 3 to 5 minutes while he's laying on the bed. Right? This is true. I have witnesses. He's on the bed there. So what happened is 2 guys beat him up, and then when he fell on his face, they stuck a knife in the back here and it hit a bone, so that's what saved him. Or maybe the goodness of his mother is what saved his life. But they literally meant to kill him. Anyhow, so he was there and they were sewing him up, and I think doctor, he was on the bed like this way, and I'm standing off of the side over there, and his head is there and I'm over there, and his doctor knows, and they're sewing him up and stuff. So he dropped up and he opened his eyes and he said, warrior, don't tell my mother. So I said out very loud, I said, boy, that's why I'm here. She already knows. So I get back in and I start to beam the energy, because you can beam it. So when I search him out and think, I realized he's going to be okay. So I was getting ready to leave. And then he opened his eyes again. And he said, warrior. And he pointed his, he said, pee. So I tapped the doc. I said, doc, he needs to pee. Now, I was there for about almost 5 minutes. He don't look around. Sir, how do you get here? Sir, he turned around. What the hell? How do you get here? Sir, how do you get here? Sir, you got to leave. Right? So, so I said, she said, sir, you don't have on the smock, you don't have on. Sir, how did you get
Surgical
here?
mask,
Right,
you don't
no,
have
nothing.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
Right? And I say, look, you'll have a nice day, and I walk out. When I walk out, past the guard, he probably lost his job, past the other guard, I walk past him, I say he's going to be okay. I went back in my car, went up in Queens, and went to bed and sleep. Now, I called back his mother in Trinidad. She went to Trinidad. I say, what you doing here? Come up here, get a flight. I say, he's going to be okay. I said, but why fly? So when she came up now, she got sick because she didn't really cry. That's the only child now, so she didn't release. That's why release is very important. Crying, sex, orgasm, all these things are healing. Release, you need to release. You understand? Okay? Release is healing, okay? We demonize all these things through religion, sex. Oh, this thing, we come here in sin, alive. We come here no damn sin. God creates sex to bring life. It's divine. It's the highest form of thing. The concept of the Immaculate Conception is an insult to God, because you are saying that a perfect God creates something that is not perfect, which is sex. So we're contradicting ourselves. So we have a lot of learning and growing to do. Now, right? So my friend, she came up and she got sick. Her eyes got swelled up and red and all kind of thing. She went to the doctor, they give her stuff, it wasn't helping. I lay her on a bed and I lay hands on her. When I lay hands on her, healed her, she started to bawl, she screamed, and that was what healed her. She released those tears and she got better. Now, what I'm saying to you is, I am telling you from my magical higher self how I got there. So if you seeing somebody who could fly, and that's the ignorance of us, we see somebody flying, we don't know how to fly, but we say, but you're supposed to do so and so and so. They can't fly, but they want to tell you what you should do but they can't do what you could do. And very few individuals could do what I do. My sister, my brother Marlon was there. She had a liver transplant. I don't want to mention, but she was in hospital, right?
Question?
Right? So I could go on and on. You all probably need to have another show. But yeah, you have a lot to say. I ain't started to talk yet.
We have a question from Alicia. Thank you. I know there are questions out there. We're trying to get a break to ask some of these questions. So if you can quickly answer them.
Sure.
Alicia says, what amazing things have you done?
But I think I just explained that.
Okay. Stephanie says we need to move from religion quickly. So some of these are the older
Older comments.
comments. Antoinette says you have freedom of speech. You're not insulting. You're a believer and you're entitled. Stephanie's rebuttal to that is, Antoinette, yes, but there is a way to be politically correct. And I personally agree with that. Is like, even if I have certain beliefs as an individual, I don't think, and this is just me, that I should insult someone else's beliefs, because I can express my beliefs without belittling someone else's beliefs. May not be your style or viewer's style, it's just a personal thing for me as well. So I agree with that. Antoinette says, some things I can't agree with what you're saying, but you interest her. Good with the God conversation. People have been praying for years to this invisible person who does not exist, giving their money to churches in vain. Suzanne says there's a God, he saves us from our sins, and he died on the cross for us. So some of our viewers have that belief.
Right, okay.
And then Alicia says it's fine, but don't insult those who believe in Jesus. She doesn't either, but she doesn't go around insulting those that don't. So I think a gist of the conversation is that one person says you cannot raise people from the dead. And when you explain that example of you walking in the hospital room and touching the nephew's feet, a lot of people will say that's coincidence. You and your believers, anyone else may not believe that, but there are people obviously
but I have
that won't think that.
Many other instances of doing that.
Okay, so from the book
No, but I didn't say I raised anybody from the dead.
Right.
I said I brought them back from the brink of death.
Okay.
Right. And I'm talking about my own father. And then my sister, she had, and my nephew was laying there. I've done a lot of things.
Yeah. So one of the things I initially asked is, and I don't know if I really got an answer yet, because at some point we have to wrap up the show, is what brought you to the beliefs? Because I think Cheryl pointed out as well, at some point you believed in something, right? Did you ever believe in God when you were a little kid?
I still believe in God.
Okay. And so what is your belief now, or what makes you different than everyone else? Why should people read your book?
Okay, well, when I first met her, she turned the book, and the book is mystical, and she turned to a chapter called The Inner God. The Inner God explains and contradicts. I have in my chapter called The True Christ, which I explain. So I'm not just contradicting what you're saying, but I'm giving you a reason. But if I'm not allowed to finish, then you will say, I'm not insulting anyone. I'm speaking what I see as truth. Now, if you find the truth, we have demonized the truth to the point now when we hear the truth, it's insulting, it's repulsive, because that's how we've been programmed. You understand? A person who speaks truth have a lot of enemies. And so do I, because they don't want to know the truth. But, as I was saying, the inner God, okay, like Christianity tells you about the Trinity. The name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Now, there is no woman in there. Now, in my meditation and in my communication with God, he revealed to me something called the Divine Trinity, because what was revealed to me is that God has a spirit, or our Creator has a spirit. And when I say God, I mean whoever he, she, it, they are. You understand? In fact, I believe it's more than one, energy. But anyhow, the energy source has a spirit that divides itself. So each and every human being has what is made up of what I call the divine trinity. It's a term that I've coined and I've came up with. Divine trinity is, in fact, as far as my understanding, is God has a spirit that divides himself. We have a spirit divide itself. So every human being is a unification of those three entities. Is God, the male, and the female, in that order. That's what I see as the true Trinity, is the unification of those spirits, which is not no name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That makes no kind of sense to me. And I guess if you think critically and have open minds and you question it, because it's based just on belief. But if once you start questioning these things, what I want you to question everything I'm saying, as well as what you've been taught. Ask me a million questions, I will answer every one. Question the Bible the same way.
Perfect.
Right? And if you question the first thing in the Bible, it makes no sense.
So we want your questions, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
I have questions as well that I'm going to post after the show.
I want to end with this. The first thing in the Bible, common sense will tell you it will make no sense. They tell you about Adam and Eve, and she ate their fruit, and then God tell her not to eat the fruit, right? And then she eat the fruit. So listen, even with me, if I am already psychic, so if I tell my son or my daughter not to eat, I already know she gonna eat the damn fruit. So think about the all-knowing, all-seeing. Why would the all-knowing, seeing being go tell you, don't eat that fruit, otherwise I'm gonna punish you. Like if God ain't gonna see from 1,000,000 years that you was gonna eat the fruit, then why would he punish you for all eternity? So that right off the bat is
To you, it makes no sense. To you.
To any critical thinking human being.
Well, I think I'm critically thinking, and I don't want to stick on religion at all, because
Okay.
I think you have your beliefs and everyone has
Okay.
their beliefs, whether they're, we grew up with these beliefs. But
Right.
I do personally believe that things happen for a reason, right? It could be something really hurtful, something hard, something that I don't understand.
I agree with that. There's no coincidence.
Right.
Man.
So the things you're saying, though, you're saying, why did they eat the apple? Why did someone down the cross? These are all things that, if you believe what I just said, those things had to happen, regardless how hurtful and painful it is. So from a religious standpoint, someone could say, God gave up his only son to die on the cross to go through that and bear witnesses for us as a world to heal. You don't believe in that. People believe in that, right?
But results matter, right? I could tell you, I could do this and do that, but then results matter. If I tell you, done, so and so and so and so, don't do so and so, this is going to happen, right? Or if I tell you, if you want to go so and so, and you do what I say, and then it happens, you say, wow, what you're saying is true, right? But it's 2,000 years. Okay, let's assume the story is true. Let's assume it's true, but I don't believe it's not. I don't believe that. Okay, first of all, you are talking about a superior human being who sees, who could bring the dead back to life, who could see and know all things. That individual a million people couldn't crucify that individual. Because even I literally was invisible. So you trying to tell me, and Jesus is supposed to be much more powerful than me, trying to tell me
So we could go on all night about
Right.
religion. So here's what I challenge the viewers to do. Ask your questions, and I challenge you to go on and answer it and have this debate online. One comment that I did read, somebody wanted you to go back to relationships to talk about, how that whole monogamy thing works when you introduce yourself to multiple women. So your belief as far as relationship, man must have multiple women, is one of the things that was in here.
Well, first of all, if you bring any man in here and you put him on a lie detector test and you ask him, you know, they all will fail. So my thing is, the truth is necessary for success. Regardless of whatever it is you're doing, if the foundation of it is not built on truth, it's going to fail. That's universal.
Okay.
It don't make a difference of what your emotional aspirations are. It don't care. The truth is not going to conform to Don or you, right? Or me.
Because it's the truth.
It's the truth, and we have to conform to the truth. But the thing is, we have to make it palatable. So I'll give an example. What's healthy for you? Fruits and vegetables, right? And don't eat no meat. You know, we might have addiction to ice cream and cake, and because we've been raised on that, and we have acquired a taste for it, but it will kill you. But you're free to eat it, but it's going to shorten your life and compromise you. But if you want to live a healthier life, you have to eat the fruits and the vegetables, so you make it palatable. So we're like, like a relationship, you make it palatable. Okay, if you have more than one person, you bring them, you be honest first of all.
Right, be honest.
And be friends, and we
Figure out how we're going
and
to
do
make
it
it work.
harmoniously.
But you're saying no man out there at all
None.
can come and say, I've never had an affair? Is
Oh,
that
no, no,
what
no,
you're
no,
saying?
no, no, no,
baby.
no.
Okay,
There's
so
wine,
clarify.
honey.
No,
And
when
glasses.
no, listen, no, I'm not saying that they never have an affair. It have the ones that who never have an affair, the ones that who don't adhere to his truth. You create a monster. First of all, you create a liar. Why do you think Bill Cosby is in jail right now? Why do you think Jay-Z would cheat on Beyonce? One of the most beautiful women to ever walk this earth, financially rich. Why did he cheat on her? Because he don't love her? Because he's not monogamous. Men don't cheat because they're not in
No,
love.
I could relate to a lot of what you're saying in regards to
of
monogamy, okay? Because we have seen, which is why I've basically said to you, is that why we see so much cheating? Is that why we see so many divorces? Is that why we see
Because
so much
the
of all of
relationship
this?
starts
It's because
off
monogamy is not natural.
with a lie.
Is what you're saying.
It starts off with a lie.
Brad Pitt made that statement when he divorced his
And a lot
first
of
wife.
blackmail be going on. Here's what you see, you're a very sexy, beautiful woman, right?
Right.
So I meet you, I say, oh, baby, you're looking good, right? You know what I mean? And I want you. But you know you're so fine. No, you want to use your power now. No, you know I have a next girl, baby. And I tell you, I say, I have a girlfriend, but I really like you. And boy, I'm looking at you and I'm like, and you say, yes, warrior. You're a nice man, but you have to get rid of her. because you're so fine now, because you're used to that.
Because I don't share.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
you don't share, but you see, that's the thing. So now, when you say you don't share, now you're forcing a man to be a liar. Because now wait, let me explain. If you don't have integrity like me, he's gonna lie to you, because
I'm forcing him to make a choice.
no, but he gonna
She's
lie.
forcing him to be truthful.
A lot of men
She's
make
forcing
the
him
choice.
to be truthful.
Right, and I respect it. Trust me, I have a friend who is hot and sexy, and he's the first to say to you, I don't want to settle down. I want sex. I don't want a commitment. I don't want a relationship. And I absolutely respect him for that, because if I want a booty call or just sex, then I know if I was ever that person, I could. I'm just not that person. So we've developed a level of respect for each other that he knows I'm a relationship woman and he is for a booty call man.
So wait, but you can't go too fast. So you say right? So you say he's a relationship woman. So
I am.
So what? So you think because it's not a monogamous relationship? Listen, if it's a monogamous relationship, first of all, it's based on a lie.
So you're comfortable with the woman sleeping with other men too, then?
No, hell no.
Oh, okay. So now we're getting somewhere.
Woman, so are you
you
trying to
must
say that
have
men?
multiple. Oh, hell no.
No.
So
Hell no.
Are men the only problem? Are men the only
No.
sex
Listen.
that has a monogamous problem?
Well, let me explain. Right? You ask a question. I can answer any question
Oh,
in
no.
the universe I could answer. I'm a very, very
Do you
wise.
need me to repeat it?
No, I need to take it. No, most women, okay? No,
Oh,
you should be
boy.
free. Be honest. If you want to have 100 penises inside of you, right?
I should be allowed
Right.
to have that.
You should be, no, you know, this should be not about ownership.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
this is another thing, you know, you don't own that individual.
Right.
Right? Society bring all these false. We so dysfunctional. Listen to me. If I'm with you, I don't own you,
Right, you don't.
and you don't own
And you
me.
don't own me,
Right?
exactly.
So, but if for me to tell you that I only want to be with you alone, I have to lie. That's a lie.
No, so go back to
It
So
don't mean that I don't
why
love
lie?
you.
go
Why
back to no. You can
No,
love
well-
multiple people.
Right.
Right. Sharing a bed and intimacy for me is different. I want you to explain why is it okay for you, a man, to have multiple women, but it's not okay as your
No, but-
woman to have multiple.
Okay, I am
men?
not saying it's not okay.
What
Why-
are you saying?
Right?
What are you saying?
Listen to me. I'm saying it's okay. You are free. If I meet you, I will tell you off the bat what I stand for.
Right.
What I want. I'm a lion, right? I'm not a pussycat. I'm a lion.
Okay.
Right? You don't see a lion. When a lion come and he have, you think that if our next lion come in there, we have to have a talk or we have to have a discussion and one of we have to go. Right? All is mine.
There can be two lions
that
in
is
the den.
corroborated by nature. Man is the same way. No, you have a weak man. No, you as a queen, right? Or I wouldn't even say queen, a goddess, right? You should be free. So listen, if you say right now, listen, I don't want no one man. I want you, and you. As a woman, because heaven is between your legs, right? Heaven is,
I don't know about that.
no,
There's
heaven,
between
wait. Heaven is between a woman's leg, okay? That's where life is created.
That's not heaven. No, that's your perception. Let's agree to disagree.
Listen, it's heaven on earth.
Heaven to a man is probably there,
Listen,
but it's not
even
for me.
atheist people, when they're having sex and they're having an orgasm, what they say? Oh God, right?
But that
They
doesn't
say,
make
oh,
it heaven.
evolution. They do not say,
Listen.
oh, God.
Okay, go ahead. I still waiting
I don't
for
know.
the answer.
An orgasm is so sweet, right? It has nothing like that.
There's no other feeling. There's
Are
no
you
other
going to
feeling.
answer the question though? The question is, what is your beliefs as far as the woman having the same mindset that you
He
do?
answered.
No,
He
what,
answered.
well, I know I will answer it.
Yes.
What I find is most women, first of all, their love is so intense. It's much more intense than a man, right? So you all are more naturally monogamous because you all are so intense, right? So you all need to find somebody who you love. But most, right, as opposed to who really love you, is more important than you love, because when you love, your whole body responds better. A man that you might have sex with you, he could just touch you and kiss you here and here, and you can have multiple orgasms. In fact, as a woman, you could be pleasing a man and be getting orgasm while you're pleasing a man because you love that man.
Okay, let me respond.
Right? No, wait.
Finish the
Let me answer the question. No, most women cheat. most women cheat or think as a retaliation. They treat as retaliation because their man they will cheat, so they treat as retaliation. But they don't go into a relationship say, look, I want to have, because if that's what you want, we should all be truthful.
But you went into it declaring yours. So let's say a woman goes in and she's just attracted to you and she thinks that she can accept your mindset and your lifestyle to have multiple women. She thinks she's okay with it.
Yeah.
But as her love grows deeper for you in that relationship, she's not going to want you to share you. So
Wait,
where...
are you telling me this?
I'm giving
No,
you that
I've had it.
scenario. You've had it happen, right?
I've had experiences. Yes,
Right.
well, I'll explain that to you.
Okay.
Right? No. My thing is, again, it's not about ownership. At any time, if I have two or 3 women, at any time during the relationship, they feel that they don't want to do it no more, they should be free to go. Or end the relationship. Right? Right? They should be free. I don't own her. Right? I will explain to her from the start. That's the best I can do. No, I cannot be untrue to myself, because then, guess what? When there is a price to pay, when a man, you see, we are not equal. Equality is a myth too. There's equal rights, and equality is two completely different things. Nobody is equal. Man or woman is not equal. So, right? If a man, in fact, I've been saying this for years, a man my age is supposed to have, they are saying for you to avoid erectile dysfunction, PE, and prostate cancer, doctors now are recommending that a man my age have at least 21 orgasms a month.
But
right?
most men your age can't do that.
Oh, I do it.
Okay, so I guess you probably need to give advice to men, because men, you said you're 61, right?
I'm 61.
I know men in their 50s that aren't capable.
Of course,
doing
and
that.
why? Because they're believing in the wrong thing. So that's why this book is so important.
So it tells them in the book how to have multiple orgasms?
No, listen, understand me. You have to be in harmony with nature. Nature doesn't support monogamy. So for you to be the best self, you have to be in harmony with nature. Nature is God. So I'm saying I don't need no Viagra. Right? I can have right now I can have a threesome. Right now, and satisfy my woman. And I'm not saying just to boast, I'm saying it because it's fact.
Okay, I'm gonna just, because it's 9:15,
right.
and I'm gonna get my 2 questions in regards to what you just said in regards to women and men and the monogamy levels that we all possess, right?
One more quick thing. My grandfather, who fathered my father, who they used to call the Lord, all me and all my brothers and all of his 7 children, we got church. He was 79 years old when he fathered my father. And my father had 2 younger brothers. One passed away. He was the greatest steel band man ever to walk the earth. And then he had a younger brother. So in his 80s, this old man, what kind of woman does an old man that age need to have in order to, why would God allow a man to impregnate a woman if he's not supposed to, he's supposed to be with one and one? So nature doesn't support that. My grandmother was in her 30s. She was young. And she had 6 children for that old man. Right? You understand? So that dispels monogamy and makes no sense, because a woman that age cannot have a baby. Right? So if you have a problem with that, talk to God. Even the Bible, doesn't support that. The Old Testament doesn't support that. It's only when they come with a New Testament, which is a contradiction to the Old Testament, which that didn't make no sense, because the story of Jesus and the New Testament is a contradiction to God in a lot of ways, which means that you are saying God is not perfect. So if it was good in the Old Testament, who the hell is Jesus to come and change it and say, oh, this is wrong? So in other words, you saying God was wrong.
Okay, so Sherilyn, do you want to ask those questions?
Ask the question.
I definitely do. To close, and really we're gonna close off with these, so you're gonna have seconds to respond to my questions. Seconds.
I'm ready.
Seconds. 1. You explained that women are not, for them to be monogamous, it's more natural than men.
Right.
Right? So, with that knowledge, are you counting on us to not have more than one man? Which is why you are saying you guys can have 6 women, but women really won't, because are you counting on the fact that we are not naturally?
No, it should be free. Listen to me.
Okay, perfect. That was it. You said it. Hell no.
No, right.
It should be free. Perfect.
Right.
B part to that question. Will you continue dating a woman who has 5 or 6 men while she's seeing you? Will you continue to see that woman?
No, because I'm a lion,
I thought so.
right? I'm a lion, right? No, no, listen to me. No, we have men who will do that. No, listen, men, you all are the bosses, right? Because you see that thing between the leg, like I said, is heaven on earth, right? Men will do anything. In fact, if you look at the praying mantis, when he having sex, he know he's gonna get killed, and he going for that thing, and then biting off his head, and he going for that sex. Because you see that sweet feeling, man will do anything for that. So you all lay down the groundwork. But we need to be honest with each other. If you want to have, how much of a man, you say, listen, you all can make the rules. You say, listen, you are like you, I will come, listen.
And then we all decide how we're all going to work.
If you want to do, we should be free to do that. But this kind of thing about, placing ourselves in a box and like, Jesus said this and God said that, all that nonsense, and they demonize sex and tell us, because the statement, how we came here in sin, is a very dangerous thing, because that demonizes sex.
I don't like it either. I don't like it.
So
I'm
sense.
with you. I don't like we came here in sin.
Yeah.
One final question from Stephanie Steele. She says, would he have a relationship with a woman who is sexually active with another man, but don't deny she loves him, since we don't own anyone?
Would
you be in the relationship? I think it's
I
similar
just asked,
to what
she's just saying one
asked.
other as opposed to 4 or 5 others.
No.
What if she was seeing one other guy? Would it make a difference to you, the number?
Listen, again, it's have a lot of men who will deal with that.
You are not.
But you won't.
No.
Correct. So you must have multiple women, and
but no
they must
woman
be loyal to
you.
Listen.
Yes.
Yes
no?
or no? Yes, that's a yes or no question.
They must be honest with me.
Honest. So honest, they would be telling you, I would like to have relationships.
Right, and then
with
you'll be free to go. I'll say,
you would
good
not
luck.
continue.
We don't have to argue. I won't be vexed with you.
Wow.
I won't be vexed with you. Go,
Wow.
but see.
Wow.
But when.
Wow.
But listen
wow,
to me.
Ricardo.
Warrior. But listen to me. What is happening is when you force a man.
Yes.
When you force a man to go against his truth, you creating a monster. And a lot of women who get killed, right, is because once a man is forced to be monogamous, right, you have to emasculate him, first of all. That is not his truth, so you have to emasculate. But then now he gets so clingy and possessive, and then he gets weak, and then that's when you normally cheat on that man, because you need to see a lion.
But aren't you forcing the woman to do something outside of her norm to accept your ways as a man?
That is not true.
And there are multiple women.
That is not
I just
true.
want to meet the women that accept.
I could give you a personal experience. I had a relationship. Right? No, I don't care.
That's all right. Bring it.
I don't give a shit. Nobody think it. I'm a free man. I will speak the truth. I don't care who I will go on a stage and speak the truth.
Go ahead.
Because I know what I'm saying. It's the truth.
you have to
Right? I had a girl. So I explained to her, I said, look, you know me, because I need variety so I can get aroused. Because a man needs to get aroused. After a while, the same, he needs to get an erection. He can't perform without an erection, right? Okay. So I tell her, I say, listen, I don't believe in this monogamy. It's destroying us on every level. Economically, it's what's dividing black people and what weakening us, and that's why it's legislated. So anyhow, so I said, look, as I could bring somebody else, but you find somebody who
who she likes.
Right.
To bring into the
who you like.
Into the same room.
How many? Like a friend, somebody
right.
who she likes.
Somebody that she can approve.
Right. In the same room. So we think, and so she decided, okay.
We ting means,
no,
guys.
This was a few years ago, right?
It.
I was in my 50s then, right? So anyhow, she came in and, we did this thing and she checked the girl out. And the girl came and she checked her out and made sure she clean and everything. Right? So she come in. So we think and we made love. Okay. Right?
The three of you?
No, wait, just no. Me and her made love. Right? And then, so she gets satisfied, she has an orgasm, whatever it is, right? And she asked me, she said, I brought so-and-so, I don't want to call her name, she said, do you want me to bring her in? I said, sure, if she wants to come. she brought her in.
And you're using condoms, protection.
No,
for
listen,
this.
listen.
Oh,
listen.
no protection.
No,
Okay,
listen.
just
I
checking.
am going to that.
Okay.
Right? That's a different conversation. I'm going
Lord
to
have
that. Is that
mercy.
correct? Right? No.
Okay.
Right? No.
Shot, you need a shot of tequila by now?
No,
Probably.
wait, so then she, no, we had to be cautious, you test, whatever, right? Anyhow, so she brought the other individual in. So she was going to leave, and the other girl said, no, you stay. I said, okay. I guess she wanted to have a more inclusive threesome, you know. Which, hey, be liberated sexually. Whatever makes you happy, you should be free to do that. Anyhow, so me and the girl cohabitated. So then she was there and she watched everything. I ain't hiding nothing. I ain't doing nothing wrong, from my understanding. So then she was like, oh. So after, thing, the girl said, no, Mike, the girl was little originally said. So I said, are you okay? She said, no. I said, what's wrong with you? Yeah, I know about this. I said, come on, man, baby, behave yourself. Behave yourself. And we made love again. No. The orgasm was faster. She came faster than she came the first time. No. Guess what? Orgasm is the truth. You could pretend and you could say what you want, but something about that.
So what did that speak to you? I don't know.
What it explained to me that something about herself was revealed that she didn't know. She was turned on by me and that other woman. You understand? And the fact that she came faster was evidence of her. Yeah, you know what I mean? So
Of her what? I don't know what you mean.
Well,
I'm sorry,
listen.
you need to explain it.
I think we need to wrap it up.
I'm sorry,
I
you need
think
to
we need
explain
to
it.
wrap it up.
I mean, I don't know what you mean. An orgasm, listen to me. An orgasm does not mean that you are my be all end all. You can
Well,
give
I didn't
it,
say
it
that.
doesn't. It
Well,
doesn't.
why you jumping in? I didn't say I was. I'm just telling you if she was so repulsed by it. If she was so repulsed by it, right? If she was truly repulsed by it, then listen. When you're repulsed by something, the man could do once you ain't enjoying that shit. You're vexed. You're angry. You ain't gonna have no orgasm.
You're right. You're
Okay,
right. Mental
so-
transforms all the
Of
way
course.
through. You're very, very right.
And not only that, she had one that come much faster than the first one.
Okay, so what we're going to do right now, because we've way gone over, is we're going to cut right here. We'll probably do some recording after the show, right? To continue the conversation. But Black Warrior, in closing, do you have anything that you want to say to wrap up to our viewers
Okay,
tonight?
going back to the book. Literally everything you was taught was to control you and to keep you weak. So my thing is, I've laid the foundation for your liberation. This book is the Holy Grail. This book, a spiritual guide to inner peace and empowerment. So it will take you where the Bible been in existence for thousands of years. It has failed to take, right? Now I'll just give you this one page here, and it's called chapter 21, this last chapter, called The New Beginning. It's a brand new day. So I'm going to say, welcome to the realm of the black cocoa, of my realm. It's a warrior's realm. A realm of peace, freedom, and empowerment. A realm overflowing with a limitless abundance of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. A realm where truth has proudly reclaimed its true identity, and love in all its glory majestically sits on its divine throne. If you have gotten to this point, I trust that you have read this entire book. If so, I first want to applaud you and thank you for taking the spiritual journey with me. Whether you have realized it or not, you have just been handed the keys to the gateway of a new world, a new beginning, a place where you're fully aware that your spirit is not only eternal, but all-knowing, eternal and all-knowing, but capable of flying faster than the speed of light. A place where you're finally able to overcome your social demons by shedding religion and embracing spirituality. A place where you know the undeniably truth that divine love is the only pathway to your salvation. For once you are filled with love, you are filled with God. You are at a place where you don't worship the Christ, you become it. You are at a place where God is truly your own. The keys you currently hold in your hands are the keys to your liberation. Now it's up to you to use them. If you do, I can promise you it will truly be the start of a brand new day. This is a synopsis of where this book is going to take you.
Okay.
So we don't worship the Christ, you become it.
Okay. Well, we thank you for joining us on the Caribbean Edge. We're going to continue some conversation. Ask your questions because we're going to challenge you, Black Warriors, to go on and answer every single one of them.
Okay.
Yes.
Ciao for now, everybody. I'm going to
Love,
wrap up
love,
because
love.
we've gone way over. Ciao for now. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your week.